touch of pandemonium in the air, the Hutton Orbital studio is a whirlwind of activity as the pre-show preparations take an unexpectedly soggy turn. The notorious Hutton leak, a long-standing and somewhat mythical gremlin in the machinery, has chosen today of all days to rear its drippy head, turning the corridors into impromptu rivulets. Flossy, ever the champion of calming chaos, glides through the corridors with a grace that belies the urgency of the situation, her arms laden with an assortment of buckets and pans, clanging a discordant symphony. She manoeuvres around the growing puddles with a nimble dexterity that would put a ballet dancer to shame. Amelia, meanwhile, is a blur of focused determination. She darts from console to console in the control room, her fingers dancing over the buttons with the speed and precision of a seasoned pianist. No, I said pianist. The screens flicker to life, a testament to her technical prowess, even as a small waterfall cascades down the wall behind her. Chicks, with his trademark nonchalance, leans against the wall, with a lopsided grin hiding beneath his decidedly unlopsided moustache as he watches the commotion. He manages to find the one dry spot in the corridor, or so he thinks, until a rogue drip from the ceiling lands squarely on his head, causing his moustache to quiver for just a moment. Lithobreaker, the man of many gadgets, has taken it upon himself to tackle the leak head-on. Armed with a bewildering array of tools that would make any mechanic green with envy, he delves into the heart of the plumbing with the gusto of a man on a mission. His mutterings about improper pipe fittings and substandard welding echo down the hall. The apology officer, clipboard in hand, is in full damage control mode. They flip between the crew, doling out apologies like candy on Halloween. Their soothing words are a balm to the frayed nerves, all while narrowly avoiding a collision with the careening mop bucket. And then there's Banter, who seems to have embraced the chaos with open arms. He's fashioned a makeshift raft from a broken office chair and a deflated rubber duck, and he's navigating the newly formed Hutton River with a gleeful abandon that is both infectious and slightly concerning. As the clocks tick ever closer to showtime, the crew rallies with a camaraderie born of shared adversity. Buckets are strategically placed, mops wielded with fervour, and the leak, though not yet vanquished, is at least temporarily contained. In the midst of all the bedlam, Amelia's voice cuts through the commotion with a clarity that is almost startling.
Our mics are live! Look, will you just stick your finger in it?
I'm trying, but it's too small. It's spilling all around the edges. Hang on. I'm going to try a banana. No, that's no better. It's spraying even further.
Oh, look at that. My script's gone all soggy now.
Duradrives, I tell you. That's what you need. Waterproof, smash resistant, even Fargoid repelling.
What's that winking light?
That one? That's low battery.
Well, before it goes completely on the blink, let's get through this week's headlines.
Falcon de Lacy leaks pythons?
Galactic politics set to get spicy in 3310.
The Waller is back, and other too hot, too messy news.
Chicks, bricks, lump.
Pilots voice concern over master plans being broadcast over open media.
Colonia back on the level as Hanky breathes a sigh of relief.
And we look at the rest of Hutton space.
Falcon de Lacy, the undisputed leader in the field of multi-role medium ships, has suffered a leak this week. Since the 2700s, under the name of Hutton Orbital, the mainstay of Falcon de Lacy's range has been the venerable Python, popular around the galaxy for its ability to haul huge amounts of materials, but being small and manoeuvrable enough to act as a big tub of a fighter craft or skirt around recently destroyed asteroids in search of elusive void opal fragments. The Python outclasses nearly everything in its class, classily. And for those that want something that's a bit like a Python but can launch fighters and is a little more shooty, there's always a crate. In fact, there are 2 crates. Supposedly secret plans by Falcon de Lacy for a new model of ship made their way in an unsealed brown envelope pushed under the door of one Chuck Handgun of the Pilots Federation. Given that he was gluing together his first Pilots Federation update for months, he couldn't resist. There it was, in big. The Python Mark II. Pilots throughout the galaxy who've been bemoaning the fact that they've got nothing new to spend their untold squillions of credits on suddenly went silent. The doomsayers who, week in, week out, tell everyone that will listen that the age of the Spacefarer is done and dusted, were suspiciously silent. A few cunning individuals came up with, "But what's it for? Surely a Python Mark II is just a Python with different greebles." But no, a little sticky note attached to the image was quite clear that the Python Mark II is a Python in name, but serves an entirely new purpose out there in the galaxy. Looking at the sleek lines, the smooth curves, the lack of razor-sharp edges, is this a Python built to new crash tusk dummy standards without dangerous corners? Is it Falcon de Lacy's attempt to stick one to the Thargoids? Is that stealth armor? Is it made of grellic alloys? Does it glow in the dark? Is there one of those Vulture-style drop bays in it for airdropping whole cohorts of heavily armed and armoured troops over a war zone? Or is it slippery like that so it can enter thicker atmospheres, or oceans, or lava? Okay, maybe not lava, but certainly those big glowing portals of doom inside the Thargoid Titans. It could be just the right kind of suppository to give them the Thargoid squits and send them running home to spend a millennia or 2 on what passes for a Thargoid gazunder whilst groaning their abdomen is turning itself inside out. On the reverse of the sticky note, the words, "And there are 3 more coming." The Type 8, the Anaconda Mark II, maybe an Imperial hedge trimmer. We can't wait and have our Hutton decals on standby, ready to apply at a moment's notice.
In an effort, following the news in the first of tonight's articles, to take the Doomsayers and the rock they've gone to hide under and teleport them to Andromeda with extreme prejudice, the Pilots Federation have announced news of their own. Looking down the list of things that are most requested by pilots out there in the galaxy, and then crossing off the silly ones. On-foot combat versus Thargoids? Well, that's silly. If taking off and nuking them from orbit isn't an option, sticking one's head in the mandibles of a vicious Thargy space beastie is not on the menu. The Panther Clipper. I believe they just said lol and muttered something about lube in a shoehorn. That's a short-term nope. Oh, and that's up to the ship manufacturer and the insurers who look after the docking bay tow tracks. Anything combining the words open and only and BGS, mixing those words together in a sentence causes a number of their staff to go down with the apoplectic mods and start throwing things. And fights in station concourses between pilots? Well, okay, but only for pilots who are in open. So what does that leave from the most requested list? Power play. Here at Hutton, we are sure of a couple of facts. 1. Almost all Hutton truckers would rather boil themselves in Grelic soup than dip their toes into galactic politics on that scale, mainly as it involves stapling the flag of some distant personage from a portrait to your mast. Okay, so most Hutton truckers have dipped a toe in the water, but only to get the shields or the guns or the free goodies after 4 weeks, but quit thereafter. 2. Power play. Yeah. However, iTunes 1 and 2 on our list do not preclude the more interesting things in the horizon. The heads of the various galactic crime families, governments. Is there a difference between those first two? And hippie communes have obviously got their heads together and looked at the very pretty bubble map that monitors their influence level, conveniently ignored the Swiss cheese effect caused by independent factions having and holding and aiming to hold forevermore their own little fiefdoms, and decided that they want a bigger slice of the pie. Whether that's a square pie, or a dish of stew with a lid, or a proper honest-to-dog proper pie with a bottom and a little ceramic birdie on the top to let the steam out, is yet to be seen. But as ever, Hutton stands ready to pour our 10 credits in the slot and give it a go. You never know, it might be new, fun and interesting way to bash the local Federal Galactic superpower with the mug of nope.
Week 78 of Too Hot Too Messy saw Commandos pass the 118,000 delivery mark, and for the stats nerds out there, we are closing on having mugged 30% of what we think might possibly be out there. We delivered over 50% more mugs than this week, but let's face it, it was a pretty low bar. But we did deliver more than 800, and the 4-weekly average is just over 870, which is the lowest it's ever been. Oh, hang on, Waller81 has been on holiday for a few weeks. Well, that explains an awful lot. Welcome back, Commander. The approach routes to Hutton are totally clear this week. Traffic is as light as we've ever seen it, and you can expect to get a landing pad on your first request. There have been 2 Hutton runs this week, both are from Steve King, and the fastest of these was 1 hour, 24 minutes, 9 seconds.
Nurse Wyeth had to hit the big red emergency button earlier today in the triage section of the Hutton Infirmary. Cue medics running everywhere, a cool theme tune over the speakers, people saying complicated medical words with the word stat at the end, and floor mopping guy cleaning up all the red that was all over the floor. But first, a word from the apology officer.
Hutton Incident Report. Date, 1st of not January anymore, yay! 3310. Location, the Hutton Workshop. Incident type, damage to body parts, leakage of red on the concourse, swear filter overload. Incident detail, Hutton authorities were notified earlier today of the emergency infirmary alarm being activated by Nurse Wyeth. On attending the scene, paramedic and EMT personnel reported that it looked like something out of a bad horror B movie. Red everywhere, people slipping up in it, Commander Chick sitting on a hospital stretcher with Nurse Wyeth holding a sponge to his head, a very red sponge. We don't actually have any red sponges. Commander Chicks was insisting that he was fine and it was only a flesh wound, and using phrases like, "You know how head injuries leak, 'tis nothing." After application of a spray tube of Leak No More to the site of the injury, smelling salts to the paramedics and EMTs who had fainted, and a sling for the guy who'd slipped over and hurt himself, plus judicious application of floor mopping guy's number 4 mop and bucket combo, the situation was resolved.
As the first reporter on the scene, and after interviewing all concerned, it turns out that it was indeed a self-inflicted injury. Commander Chicks, working in the machine room at Hutton Orbital, had been beavering away with his various tools without the proper protective gear. The workshop safety supervisor, in full tactical combat gear, thick goggles and a nifty-looking clipboard, had reminded Commander Chicks that whilst working the hydraulic hammer, he was supposed to be wearing a hard hat, which was on the bench. Absorbed with looking for his 3/8 Ripley, as the 10mm one was marginally too big, and the station parts he was working on were clearly made by the night shift and measured out in bananas, or maybe giraffe halves, he didn't pay much attention to what he was being told, and promptly grabbed his hard hat and plonked it down on his noggin. At which point he located where he'd put the 3/8 Ripley. They're quite knobbly, and he did put the hard hat on with rather more force than was entirely necessary. It turns out that in this age of modern medicine, Remlock devices, advanced nanomedicines and the like, safety officers really aren't used to the sight of red. Space paramedics and DMTs aren't used to the sight of red either. In fact, just about the only person who is, apart from Banter, who has cultivated getting red on himself into a fine art, is Nurse Wyeth. The panic button was pushed as everyone else was panicking. Anyway, a few lessons have been learned. 1. Never put anything in your helmet you wouldn't put on your head. 2. Never put your helmet on your head too hard. And 3. When the Hutton safety officer asks you to do something, just show them your competent rating on your commander profile and tell them to sign a form.
It appears that Galnet, the ever-present, ever ready to cover the latest gossip and ever eager to inform the galaxy news outlet, might be moonlighting as an inadvertent mole for Tharg the Mighty and his, or her, or their insectoid entourage. Recent articles have been as leaky as a sieve, being used to boil soup, with details about newfangled anti-Thargoid tech, giving the green goons a leg up in the ongoing galactic game of cat and mouse. The latest blunder comes hot on the heels of a series of well-intentioned but perhaps misguided reports detailing the collection of Thargoid and Guardian artifacts. These efforts, aimed at giving humanity an upper hand, might just be the celestial equivalent of handing the enemy the blueprints to the Death Star. One can't help but wonder if Tharg the Mighty has upgraded his subscription to include the Galnet Premium package, complete with a Tharg Translatortron, Mark Argle, to interpret the nuances of human dialects and locate where on Earth, on a human, the exhaust port is, and whether a well-placed detonation might cause some significant injury. Consider the fiasco over in HIP 22460. Was it just a stroke of bad luck, or did Tharg the Mighty have a heads up thanks to Galnet's galactic gossips? The Thargoids, notorious for not being very well understood, are apparently well versed in the Queen's English, courtesy of Galnet. The situation begs the question, should we switch to a more obscure language? Perhaps communicating in Klingon, or better yet, Welsh, since everyone knows the Thargoid's antenna curl at the mere sound of a male voice choir. Or maybe it's high time we embrace the art of mime. Let's see them translate that. In an age where loose lips sink ships seems more relevant than ever, Galnet's enthusiastic updates could be seen as a buffet of information, with Tharg the Mighty gleefully munching away at our strategic plans. So next time you tune into Galnet for the latest scoop on anti-Thargoid efforts, spare a thought for the possibility that Tharg the Mighty might be chuckling to him or her or themself in some distant star system, tapping his claws in glee at our unwitting disclosures. As we eagerly await the Mark II Pythons, let's hope they come equipped with a feature to help Galnet's revelations keep Galnet's revelations under wraps. Or we might all end up as intergalactic hors d'oeuvres. Until then, remember, when it comes to sensitive info, mum's the word. Or we'll all be saying, Methruhogeni. That's apparently sorry in Welsh. To the last of humanity.
With last week's alert sending commanders gallivanting across the galaxy to prevent precipitous plummeting of Hutton's hitherto high influence and to prevent the poles being stacked against us, and indeed the pesky pugilists from pummeling the hanky, we have better news this week. George Pantassis is safe, Tia is safe, Pythias is safe, Eol Procol Centauri is safe, and King Hanky is having a bit of a lie down after his wild shenanigans fighting off the intruders last week. Okay, so there's a little matter of an infrastructure failure over in Pythias, but rumours are that Commander Attic used a number of the pipes on the walls to fend off the invaders without checking what they were first. He did try and put them all back, but it appears that the piping for the fresh water and the piping for the food machines that turn grey goo into edible nosh got mixed up. We won't even comment about the station's air conditioning supporting We won't even comment about the station's air conditioning pipework being connected to the outflow from Cubicle 3. Needless to say, when it got a bit warm in Pythias and one of the visiting tourists whacked their room up to frosty, what actually happened is forever etched in their memory. The entire system has been condemned and we're awaiting delivery of replacement parts and a bevy of fitters to connect the right thing to the right doohickey and get the appropriate fluids, gases and gloop flowing in the right direction. As for Tereso, there was confusion about what was happening there, as apparently King Hanky had come to an arrangement with one of the other factions there who didn't want to lose their own pied à terre in the system, had a pinky promise to give the station and the system back after they secured that eventuality. There is ongoing debate about whether Hutton actually honours pinky promises or not, and as a result the conflict there is uneven, with Hutton fighting on both sides and in general everyone being a little confused. When asked about it, King Hanky shrugged and just promised to pick up all the pieces once it was done.
Things are going through somewhat of a "oh, thank Alvin that it's finally February" vibe in Hutton Space this week. 5 systems are on Alvin's report, and for the 3rd week in a row, they're all in the 30s. More on those stories coming up. For the 3rd week in a row, Ross 671 has fended off Barnard's Star to maintain its extended grip on the wooden spoon, ending the week a point down on 30. That 13-point gap to second place has halved to just 6 points. So it fumbled its hold on the timber utensil, but Barnard's Star managed to clear its infrastructure failure and bounce back by 4 points to 35. An election between 3rd and 4th is locking up a quarter of influence for the foreseeable, so Ross 671 isn't out of the woods yet. All that bear poo. Ugh. A system we haven't seen on Alvin's report for a few months is Kakari, which has wiggled its way into the 30s, ending the week tucked between the perennial no-hopers on 34. A war is pending which will lock up over a quarter of the influence. As mentioned just now, Barnard's Star briefly took the bottom spot midweek, but lost its grip by being slightly less crap than Ross 671, ending the week on 35. The other 6 factions have 4 civil unrest, 2 pairs of busts, a famine, 2 outbreaks, and an infrastructure failure. Hard to move Epsilon indeed lost a point to end the week on 36. Nothing's happening there right now, so sneak in and do some good to Hutton's influence. Lastly, 36 Offayuki, which, until last week, hadn't been on Alvin's report since Christmas, has dropped a couple of points to 37. I can confirm that the stirring in George's pants has subsided and that the system has experienced a substantial rise of 13 points. The war for control with George's Pants Crimson Bridge concluded in a 4-2 victory after truckers successfully beat them off. The drought in Luyton 145-141 was slaked and the system is now reporting an issue of rising damp. Commander Rigsby is on the job. Well, at least he'd like to be. At the overachieving end of the Hutton Systems table, we have just 1 system above 60 and 1 above 70. Some priorities this week are, if you want to chuck something, boost Ross 671 and Epsilon Indy.
Wow.
And, well, only a couple of seams, and they were all inserted by me there. Tharg was reading the wrong article, which means he's probably not going to invade us and kill everybody.
Almost actually seamless.
Yeah, almost actually seamless, yes.
And that story about the air conditioning issue reminded me of the hotel I was in last week. where
Do tell.
it was slightly below freezing outside, but it was lovely and warm in the bedrooms. And the further down you turn the temperature on the air conditioning controls, the warmer it got.
That was the effluent control. Were you in Pythias?
I might have been. They'd managed to wire a heater to the chiller controls.
Right.
So the further down you turn the thermostat, the further up the temperature went.
And this wasn't the punishment associated with the article from last week, then?
We hope not.
No. You won't be trying that cooking again in a hurry over in Verona. Or New Verona, will you?
No.
No. They get a bit irate about such things as putting cream into your pasta.
Yeah, not to be done.
At least that particular recipe. Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, it's nice to have you back, and
Nice to be back.
As it says, that the leaks and the Hutton stuff, Amelia is pushing the buttons with aplomb. All the seams are entirely.
That's a literal
My fault.
plum. I have a plum here, and I'm pushing the buttons with it.
Using your fingers.
What? Oh, bananas! I should be using bananas.
Yeah, that'll do.
Anyway, was there a Frontier? No, I'm not even going to ask that question because there wasn't.
No, there's
Frontier
never
live
a
stream, was there?
Frontier
It was
live
definitely not a
stream.
Frontier live stream.
I don't think you're ever going to see a Frontier live stream again.
Oh, yes, there was.
No, there wasn't.
Oh no, there wasn't.
It was a Frontier Unlocked.
Yep.
The
Same
live stream
Unlocked?
TM.
Is that different?
It is. Frontier live stream TM is no more. So they have a weekly show that covers all their monthly show now that covers all their games.
What, the dinosaurs and the pandas in the
Well,
same enclosure?
The pandas were in it, I think.
Well, I mean, but dinosaurs and pandas in the same enclosure. Come on, I mean, this is.
Pandasaurus.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
mean
but it didn't move when
crossbreeding
it did.
them.
I think is it like I think he saw us.
Rex.
Anyway, so it's an hour, and it covers all their current games, so it's pretty rushed. Anyway,
It's a bit of the warhammering and warg and all that stuff, and a bit of not the Foundry things though, because they don't do Foundry anymore. No.
So it was Arf was back. We haven't seen Arf for some time now, and Holly. What did Holly do before? So it was marketing and.
Well, Holly was one of our
The Red
hosts
Dwarf.
over at the thing over in
I
the
know
Science
that.
Museum, wasn't
but
she? Yeah.
that's not a full-time job. It was just like one night.
Well, they're looking after the
One night only.
Yeah, the partners and things. You know,
Well,
the
Kat
stream
does that as well, doesn't she?
Yes,
Is
it's a
Holly
two-person
a
team.
community person, but for like, has she been doing like the Planet Zoo stuff and that? 'Cause she seemed to be quite clued up in Planet Zoo.
Okay.
Well, I think it's one to hold LCU down, the other one to kick him. Yeah.
Tony, it was Arf and
Only one
Holly
to kick him.
in a newly designed, because they can't sit on a fleet carrier now that they used to, because that's not fair and balanced to Planet Warhammer.
They've used that pretend room before, though.
Well, is it the same area that used to have the pallets? Remember Pallet
Yeah.
Corner?
Yeah,
is
it
it?
was-
No, it's
yeah.
the same bit, is it? Right. So
So
they've got
Palette City to me.
new sofas and a prize,
Dictionary corner.
a giveaway prizes table. Yeah. So if you missed it,
Was it the
Hey.
sofa thing?
what?
Yeah, they were sitting on sofas.
Yeah. So it was
sofas,
the sofa room, you know,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
EDRPG room.
Well,
Okay.
funny way to spell sofa.
Yeah, but I noticed the first thing they did, they had a failure on the prize table already, because one of the first prizes they gave away was something like a 31.5-inch Samsung Curve monitor or something like that, 4K,
Well,
everything.
why?
You're measuring it wrong. It's in bananas or
right.
giraffes or.
Are you questioning why it's 31? What happened to the other half an inch?
No, that'll be
Somebody
something
peeled
to
that
do with
banana.
Yeah.
That'll be something to do with the outside or something.
Give him half an inch, he'll take a monitor. Anyway,
Right.
so if you want to watch any more of these, they're on Wednesday.
It's a newborn elephant in size. How about that?
If you want to watch more of these, they're 12 a year, and they're on the last Wednesday of each month at 6 p.m.
Okay.
So
That's actually a reasonable hour of the day as well for people. You can sit down with your tea and watch that.
I'm cooking at 6 o'clock. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if they're going to, there's no guarantee that Elite will be at the end. Anyway, I watched it on the catch up today and just pressed fast forward a lot.
I'm assuming they'll mix it up.
Well,
they'll mix the order.
I don't know. Somebody did to kick off the sort of new Frontier Unlocked. They gave away a lot of stuff. There were headphones. There was a 31.5-inch 4K monitor that you just mentioned. There's water bottle. There were pin badges for all the games. There's all kinds of gear. And all you had to do to enter was type something in the chat, and somebody called Piglet's Last Stand, which should win a prize on its own, and won all that gear.
Piglet is easily intimidated and very small.
Yes. Oh, so you can't really see Piglet fight in a Last Stand, can you? Unless it's
probably just the same as his first stand.
Yeah, bacon. So people watching tonight may have noticed that there are Twitch drops tonight.
Yep.
So if you look at your Twitch inventory page, if you've been watching from the beginning, you will already have the cheat for an ice sheet.
Very careful how
you
you say
mind
that.
your language.
Yes, well, I did enunciate carefully. And
Please flush when you're finished.
if you're sad enough to watch for another 27 minutes, you'll get the Corvette ice sheet.
I thought we were going to see you have our sympathies.
No, and that's the paint job for the Elite Partner Program. And if anybody wants to stream Elite, who's not in the Elite Partner Program, 2 more paint jobs will be available. And I'm guessing they're going to be for the Anaconda and the Furderlands.
I've got 51% of the Anaconda ice sheet.
Oh, I haven't.
Ah, well, which? Is it the top half
What
or
have
the
you
bottom
been
half?
watching?
Is it the front or the back? Left or right? Or is it sort of split diagonally up the middle? Anyway, and if you can't get them now because you didn't watch the live stream. It's not a live stream, it's a Frontier Unlocked. Thanks. There was an iceberg paint job. Again, same 4 ships. So the format was 25 minutes of Planet Zoo. Then there were 21 minutes of War Toolkit. And then I thought we got 13. Who's clicking? What's that clicking?
What?
Who keeps clicking?
No clicking.
There is clicking.
What?
It's like somebody's clipping their nails or something. Are we boring you?
No, I can't hear any clicking. It's all in your head.
No, it's not. It's gone now because
You sure it's not the Thargoids trying to make contact?
cut your nails in your own time. Anyway, and we got about 10 minutes at the end, which was it was sort of worth waiting for after so long. But 10 minutes, come on. And announcements. What did we learn in those 10 minutes? Well, update 18 is coming at the end of February, 26th of February, which I think is a Monday. It's an odd answer.
When you want these images up?
Well, where it says in the script.
Right, okay, so one of these should be up already.
Ah, I assumed it was.
Alright, it is now.
Excellent.
There you
So
go.
there you go. What are we looking at?
This is FDev.
Oh, there you go. There's the corner I thought we were already talking about. Look, sofas.
Sofas. I like that Elite Dangerous poster.
Yeah, it is good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
So basically, these were the 3 games they talked about in the live stream, and in that order. See, there you go. Clue was there all along. It was hidden in plain sight. So that's Arf and Holly. So update 18 is coming out at the end of February, and obviously they'll fix all kinds of bits and pieces, but it's from what I could glean, it was largely Thargoid War based. Well, Volcarius will be happy. And they did say the phrase, slipped out the phrase, the end of the Thargoid War, and then quickly corrected himself. And something about taking down the Titans. That was Titans, not Tights.
Is that a bit like a 12th night kind of... Well, no, what is it? You're supposed to take down the decorations by a certain date or, have bad luck all year.
Yeah, that's 12th night, isn't it? That's,
yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you took down your Titans in time. Or your
the last time somebody took down their Titans around me. Anyway, that's a different story.
Drop your baubles. At the second update 19... do you remember a couple of years ago they talked about, we're going to overhaul this key feature of Elite, and then we speculated, then we kind of forgot about it. Well, could be I thought somebody was sucking in air through their teeth. It's not. It's somebody cleaning a kitchen or something.
Are you hearing things?
I am. I'm hearing people rubbing their hand over a surface.
You're definitely
or
hearing
something.
things.
I think you're hearing things.
You're hearing them.
I am. I'm definitely hearing them. Anyway, Power Play is going to get a full reworking, as covered in the news earlier, and it's going to be called...
As broadcast in the news articles earlier.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Full reworking is they're going to change a couple of the pictures because I don't know, President Hudson, former President Hudson is not President Hudson anymore.
What snappy title are they going to give it?
Well, we did.
Jeff the Aardvark?
We commented on this one at ECM. Something to do with power cables and playing a game, and yes. And then people at Frontier Towers, also known as Pilots Federation, go away and cry a little bit. But it depends if they're going to ignore the little bit of space next to Sol that does not contain power play control in any way. I mean, Hudson says he controls our system, but no, he doesn't.
As long as I can get my plus 200% exploration bonus from
new toys
from the guy with the quiff.
Maybe new toys, new weapons, or something. I don't know.
Well, it's the only reason to join anybody, isn't it?
Or does any mission you do for any minor faction that's associated with a major faction count towards them in terms of... I don't know.
Oh, that's too much to think about, isn't it? Anyway, coming...
Yes, hurts my head.
Coming this summer is Power Play 2.0, or Power Play 2, if you prefer. And then later... Do you get the Baldies thing there?
Yeah, it's on its way. It's thinking about it. There it goes.
Tell you anything twice here. Oh, I just thought this image was funny. The two bearded bald blokes talking to each other. Anyway, after this, it's something. All we know is that it's something really cool. So maybe it's like a cockpit fridge or something. I've got no idea.
Is this the thing that Terribly Tall Tom was alluding to at his leaving message on Galtwit?
Cup holders as standard.
You might think that. I couldn't possibly comment. And, the usual cry every time Frontier post anything on social media is like, ship interiors, no new ships. What's the other one? The game is dead. What are the
Consoles.
Panther Clipper.
Yeah, consoles.
Open only BGS.
Anyway. Maintenance mode.
Maintenance mode.
Yeah, game's in maintenance mode. Did you not know?
I mean, I just took great delight in sort of turning around to the screen that had all the forum posts, some from the Doomsayers, and going at it because no, it's crap. We haven't had new ships for at least 4 years. Well, there's some new ships. No, it's crap. Power play. They promised to look at. Oh fuck, they're looking at power play. Well, what am I going to moan about now? It's all about Thargoid.
CQC.
There's new CQ. Oh, okay. We'll maybe let them get away with CQC, but all of the Doomsayers. No, it's in maintenance mode. No, there are no new ships. And no, what the game needs right now, what this universe needs, is more ships. Well, here's more ships. There are 4 of them. Oh, but they're only reskins of existing. Well, no, they called it the Python Mark II, but it's not exactly a reskin, is it? I mean, it does look more like you could call it a Condor. Or something, or
it's kind of Python shape.
It's got the same.
You mean it's pointy at the front and wide at the back?
Yeah,
You know, it reminds me of it.
I do like the tail number, though.
I like the
07, yeah.
wings. The little tiny upwards wings at the end of the normal wings.
Winglets.
Well, I've got them on my ship, but that's a ship kit that I spent arcs on.
I mean, spaceships don't need wings, but they look pretty.
Claire Rayner
Sort of
recommends
flared for her pleasure, then.
It reminds me of a Rockwell B1, actually.
Yeah, a little
But
bit.
it does look very smooth. I mean, as we commented,
Does
I
look
mean, the
nice.
sharp edges, they've taken a big sanding block to the sides of the ship, and, you know.
You just
And it looks like there's, 5 hard points on the top there. There seems to be one giant one, 2 deady ones, and 2 medium-y kind of ones there on the top.
you just know a ship is cool when it's got wings on its wings.
Winglets. Like a Formula One car.
Is it me, or does it look
Aero.
like it got a bit of a hammerhead thing going up front as well?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Slightly, yeah.
They did show 2 pictures. One was sort of 90 degrees from that, so you could see the front better. But I thought this was just a nicer picture of the 2.
You just wanted to look at its bum, didn't you?
It's a very pretty ship.
It is.
A good exhaust shot. Yeah, it is. It's a nice looking thing. Anyway, we'll find out how good it is or bad it is when it drops. I can't recall when they said it was coming. Which of the updates it was
That's the
part
one they've
of.
revealed, and they've said there are 3 more.
Yes.
Which will be the Anaconda Mark II, the Sidewinder Mark II.
And the Cobra
And-
Mark III, Mark II.
Well, the Python version Mark III. Yeah, the Python Mark IV.
Or maybe the Imperial Hedge Trimmer. I mean, you've had a clipper and a cutter. It
Yeah.
makes sense. The next one's a hedge trimmer.
That's very true. The Imperial Secretaires.
Yes, the Imperial Shears.
The Imperial Nose Hair Remover.
Ow!
The Imperial Epilator.
The Imperial Plucker.
Yeah, the Imperial. Yeah, there are a lot of pluckers, those Imperials.
It's the Imperial Depilator. I'm going to depilate you. So if we...
Oh dear, the auto mod has gone off. Oh, we've
Just seen
we
that.
have set off the chat channel. Oh dear, Commander Aiden, please report to Alvin's office for the terrible crime of loitering with misogyny.
You can't talk about Arissa like
No,
that.
it's a garden implement.
See, while we've got that picture up of the Python Mark II, in between those upright fin things, look, that looks like a shield generator to me. A fairly sizable shield generator.
Well, it could be.
No, it's R2D2's head.
Is that what it is? He's got a massive heat.
God.
But you can see, I mean, a lot of the things are the same general shape, but they've
I mean, it's a
tailed it.
triangle.
It's the kind of slopey side things, but they've got the same vents on the side of the heat vents. It's got the same thrusters. But it does
It's got
look
engines at the back. Yeah.
not the
Pointy
same
bit at the
engines,
front.
the same
Block at the
configuration of
front.
engines.
And the cockpit's made of glass as well.
It's got the same cockpit. You can see by the layout of the windows and that, it looks like the same cockpit. I don't know what it'll be like on the inside, but for the outside, it uses some of the... They've been to the Python Mark 1 parts bin, for sure.
So you know when you get the usual crowd going, oh, more ships, we need more ships. And then when you sort of counter them and say, well, what new ships would you like? They never reply, they never respond.
I replied to you when you said it to me earlier. I want a small, manoeuvrable ship that can drop 4 people onto a planet for a mission.
And carry
A
7,000
vulture.
tons of cargo.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's got 27 railguns.
No, I think you could either maybe have something like either 4 people or 2 people in an SRV or something that give you a bit of flexibility. But something small and manoeuvrable that can drop into a planet and put a squad down would be great. Don't know what this thing's for, but it looks quite wingy. So I don't know if that's going to be something to do with atmospheres, as was speculated. But I like it. I really like the look of it.
We'll see when
It is. It's very sci-fi.
Yeah, and they've cut back. If you look at the wings to that front part, that back of the canopy, they've cut a whole section out there for some reason. So it looks like it's not going to be as cargo-y, because it doesn't seem to have the room for the cargo that it
No,
used to
it
have,
doesn't
but
seem to have the volume, does it?
Yeah.
It's a bit slimmer. I mean,
it's been slimmed down, and I don't know what that's about.
it's been in
something's going on there.
January gym.
I really like the
flexing.
look. See, looking at it for the front as well. when I saw it at first, I thought, fucking hell, is that some kind of heavy fighter or something? And then they said Python Mark II, and I looked at it and went, oh, it has got
It's a
Python
very
bits on
heavy
it.
Python.
Yeah, a very, very heavy fighter. But yeah, I'm really liking the look of it, you know.
Python's no slouch. I think I get about
Yeah.
280 with mine.
The only
280 tons
downside
with a
I ever saw
reasonable
with the Python was its
shield.
jump range. That
See-
was the only thing, the downside
Well,
of it.
you can suit that up as well. I guess
You could do that
come
to
right
any
out of
ship,
mine.
but it had quite a low natural jump range. Other than that, it was
it's,
brilliant.
It's base
So, I mean-
range. It's pretty.
Personally, I like a chunky ship. That's why I fly
Yeah.
Type 9. I like ones with bits on it, you know, and
That's-
blocky.
But
and-
And
that's-
junk in
that's-
the trunk.
That's chunky with a capital chunk, isn't it?
yeah, I do
Yeah.
like a bit of chunk. But I mean, I can still appreciate this kind of design that's, you know, wings on wings, sleek.
Yeah.
It's not
And
my
that's-
kind of ship, but I can see the attraction.
Yeah.
My Python is my mining ship.
I was using a Python when I was doing. I actually had a couple of ships, but one of the ones I was using for doing the base reactivation missions was a Python, and I liked it because you could just go down at the shields to take it, and you could just put a few dumbfire missile launchers on it, and just if anybody was potting about in the ground, they'd be down there with their torches on, and you could just blow them away. You always had plenty of ammo. When you run out in one, you could switch to another. You know, it was
Dumbfire
great.
missiles, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I use.
best way to get rid of scavengers.
Well, you thin them out and then you go on foot and kill the last one.
Yeah.
You know, if there's two left, get out.
I try to wipe them all out because quite often you get a second wave.
No, I know they don't come in though until the last one's dead. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The
So
buggers
the
have got a habit of shooting up your SRV.
This is the kind of ship that, you know, if I'm out in the black and one passes me, I will gladly turn around and watch it leave. I mean,
Yes.
that ass.
That's,
But,
yeah,
you know, I probably wouldn't fly one myself.
I think I would. I'm going to have a go at that. I'm going to see what that can do. But as I say, that shield generator in the middle looks pretty big. I think it had a 5 before, and this might be a 6. I don't know. Maybe it's just a 5, and it's just that you can see it.
Unless it's a wok and it's for cooking for large families.
Yeah. It's quite prominent though, so I'm wondering if it's going to be some kind of combat variant kind of thing.
well, there are lots of commentary in the Twitch chat about what people would like to see or what would work for your dropping a squad off on a planet.
Yeah. Yeah, remember it needs to have 4 seats, but there's a few that could do it. Yeah, like, you know, a variant, like,
Well, we just have to wait and see what we get.
yeah.
Is it-
Go on.
Is it time for some space news?
Oh, go on.
Space news.
Space news, get the music.
I'll get the music.
I think we know what Deadbeat wants to see.
Space news, 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 space news.
Oh, look at that. Oh. He's just looking at pictures.
Space news.
Oh, look at his face. His visor up and everything. Yes, so, first story tonight. Looks like Slim is alive.
Woo!
Yeah. Due to nothing anybody else did, it's just that the moon moved and the light for the sun changed its
Well,
direction.
it had travelled a long way, and you know, whenever I travel somewhere, you can't beat a good nap when you get there.
Yeah.
You can't beat a good face plant.
Yes.
Walk back to your house, go to the bedroom and just splat onto the bed.
Not many of us get to faceplant a moon, though.
So
Yeah.
the story is basically it face planted into the moon.
Yeah.
It
And it
was
stopped working.
well. Its solar panels weren't aligned to the sun because obviously with
They
the
were
moon-
pointing at the moon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they weren't pointing at the sun. So on the moon, basically, day is 14 days and night is 14 days. So it arrived at the start of the lunar day. It wasn't, as it, in its face-planted orientation, wasn't pointing at the sun. So they switched it all off before it died completely. And then as the sun came round relative to it, they gave it a poke and it woke up because its panels were oriented. Sorry, I'm just killing a fly on my bloody screen.
Everything moved. And the light came in for a different direction, hit the solar panels, and it's alive now.
Yep. But it's only going to be alive for another few days because it isn't going to survive the solar night. But that was the plan in the first place.
Yeah.
It was still technically a successful soft landing on the moon, though, and there's not many that have done that. So
Only it's the fifth nation,
Yeah,
isn't it?
they're the fifth nation.
But it's a massive success because they,
it's the USA, former Soviet Union,
India.
China, India, and now Japan.
Yep.
So, but they've had a massive success because they've successfully named some rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, but think about it. Of those 5, 3, arguably 4, are Asian countries. So that's who's leading the space race.
Well, they do have sort of 2/3 of the world's population, so you can look at it.
And
You
some
can
of the
look at
largest
any way you
economies
like.
on the planet and the
Let's
ability to get things done.
Let's not get bogged down in details.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. No, when they become inconvenient, I don't want to hear them.
La
yeah.
la la, fingers and ears.
La 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 la.
Noted. Note to
Yeah.
self.
Hearing aid. So yeah, it's alive again for a while anyway, and everybody's happy and delighted.
It's alive until it isn't.
It's alive until the point it comes where it isn't, but that was always going to be in the cards.
Yeah, it's if anybody anybody watched For All Mankind? It's a show on Apple TV. I think I don't know where else you can get it, but
No.
No.
It started off a bit. I think there's 4 series that I've got available, and I've just finished series 2. And basically, cut long story short, it's set in an alternative space future where the Russians get to the moon first, and then each series is set.
Is this the one with the dinosaurs in space, or the Nazis in space?
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No.
No. It's sort of grounded in reality, but every series is sort of set in a different decade. So the first series was sort of the end of the 60s, early 70s. Then they did the 80s. Season 3 is in the 90s. And it's all good, plausible stuff about moon exploration and different space races and stuff. If you get access to it, it's pretty good. It's not excellent. It's watchable though. It's occupied me for a couple of weeks now. I think somebody's toaster just popped up or something.
Is there
Whatever
I swear, you
whatever
hallucinate worse than
No, I heard
Dusty
that
Bot.
noise.
I
heard
was
that
little.
really loud.
It was like.
Yeah, I heard
You heard that as well.
You've got a weird toaster.
Well, see, the
I
Hutton
will
Dusty
take
Bot
credit for
hallucinates
that
the
one.
same way. We did have the Hutton Dusty Bot, and we'll do it after Space News about what the Dusty Bot did.
I'm just going to ask Little Grey. He says, "I'm doing Battlestar at the moment in the Twitch chat, and is that? I think that means Battlestar Galactica, the new season, not the original sort of 1980s."
Oh, they should have finished Caprica.
New.
I'm still
So-
sore
so-
they didn't finish Caprica.
Yeah.
So when you say new season, you mean the one that's only 20 years old, yeah?
The reboot, yes, yeah, I get it.
20-year-old.
Still one of the best sci-fis ever made, but
It was
sadly
until
20 years
it
old.
was until the middle of season. Was it season 2 or the middle of season 3? And then they were taking the piss. Anyway, you realise when the moment comes that some good stuff in there, but then it just got weird.
Okay, next story.
Well,
Oh,
more than one.
somebody do the next story.
Yeah, I agree with Fish. The Expanse is still the best, and yes, I've seen your van, and I think it's marvelous.
Okay, so the next story was, oh no,
Ginny.
broken
Yeah.
wing.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, it's very sad, this one. You
So-
talk
Yeah.
about sort of nearly getting it right and then getting it right and
Timmy!
then some. Yes.
yes.
Because this one got it right and then some. This was Ingenuity, wasn't it? The helicopter on Mars.
Yeah.
That was
was
supposed
meant
to
to
fly
do 3
just a
flights.
couple of times, yeah.
Yeah.
And instead was acting for days and days and days, flying around the place, flying around on Mars, taking photographs, and helping guide Perseverance around the surface of Mars. And unfortunately, it's had a rapid, unscheduled disassembly of the rotor kind.
Oh dear.
And
Well, it had
one
a
of his
bit of a hard landing, didn't it?
and one of its rotor blades decided it didn't want to play anymore, and it's feeling. Well, hang on a second. Before its mission came to an end, it performed 72 flights and flew 14 times further than originally planned.
Well, the pilot who was flying it decided, or the guy who was remote piloting it decided that he was going to do it properly, and he bought a logbook for it as well to record all its flights. And he thought, well, we'll only have a couple, but it'll be nice to keep a record of the flights. And then actually
So
had
he's
to
had to
go and
stick
buy.
lots of pages in the back.
He's had to go and buy a new logbook to go with the first logbook. They get so much. I think he thought he was going to get about 3 entries or something like that, and they put it away with all the files of the mission, and it'd be a nice thing to keep. And he ended up getting onto a second logbook.
Well,
So
I heard somewhere that they weren't too upset because they thought with what
they've had their money's worth out of it.
yeah, but what Perseverance is now going to do, Ingenuity would find it difficult to keep pace and keep
Because
pace
they're
and
going to go
catch
for a
up.
long, fast drive, so they're going
Yeah.
right up to the edge of the crater, which means they have to put the boot down and really go for it, and the helicopter wouldn't be able to keep up anyway. So
Multiple kilometres per day.
What?
Mm.
My God, dizzying speed. Everything will just be a blur.
Yes.
yes.
Don't tell Mark Dreyfus he'll have 20-mile-an-hour speed limit signs everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sad news. But what was the old the internet memes? Was I a good helicopter?
Yeah.
One of those ones with the Grim
Yeah.
Reaper standing over it. Yes.
Yes,
but-
you were, Ginny. Yes, you were.
And actually, in terms of cost compared to the other bits of it, talk about money's worth on that one, because that can't have been anywhere near the most expensive bit of that mission. It was sort of almost a tactile, hey, let's do a helicopter. It really is. There's not that much to it compared to the main module itself.
Yeah.
So
I think the main rover as well. I think one of the dearest parts was the poo. The
what?
thing that it does poos. Did you not know?
Oh yes, I did. Yes,
Yeah,
it's leaving poos about for people to pick up at some point in the future. Yes.
So
Exactly.
somebody's going to space with a little plastic poo bag.
But they had to be
To,
ultra.
No, they're
ultra-
self-dragging.
Well, at least they won't be warm.
They had to be ultra clean, the tubes for these things, and they got them so clean that they couldn't work properly because of the friction. There was no give. They were so thing, and then they had to work on a system for that. I think they got an ultra pure lubricant thing to use with it or something like that. But that was
So they
that
had
was
to give
how-
it some more fibre because it just wasn't passing. them
it
properly.
wasn't
Yeah.
passing them properly. Yeah, it was a bit constipated. But it's been walking about, picking up bits of rocks, pooing itself, moving on.
I've just got an image in my head of Mark Watney with a little
Yeah,
pulling little plastic bags out of his spacesuit.
and growing potatoes.
Yeah, he'll be going, I can grow some good spuds in this shit.
Well, anyway, this is one for somebody else because it's nearly as silly as the rest of it. Okay, so an asteroid
The
the
size,
size of
64 Canadian geese.
64 Canadian geese, right?
Yes.
A Canada goose has a weight of 7.1 to 14 pounds if male and 5.5 to 12 pounds if female.
Yeah.
There we go.
64 of them together, it's about the size of that asteroid. Still makes me think it's quite small, actually.
617 pounds, which I don't know what that is in real money, but it's yes.
But are these wingtip
they might
to
be
wingtip,
2.2.
or are they all sort of balled together?
I think it's just about the mass, because it's talking about the weight of each one of these things. So,
So it's not the size; it's the
No.
mass.
But to bring it back down to proper space news, they believe it is a C-type asteroid, which is a chondrite.
Oh,
Now,
one
don't
of
we see
those.
but don't we see those when we're driving around on SRVs?
I think we do, yeah.
Oh, we do, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the thing
so-
is, though, it's been and gone because it was Tuesday. It was supposed to be back passing the Earth.
But what was its airspeed velocity?
Well, it was about the size of a small refrigerator, like a hotel room one.
0 because it was it wasn't in air.
Oh, hang on. What was that an advert for?
I'm looking at
It's
the other
apparently
images.
It's a 71-meter
Ooh,
asteroid,
prostate?
which means it's 64 Canadian
Neuropathy.
geese, tail to beak in a line.
Sorry,
there you go.
how big?
What?
How big
60.
in total?
64
64
Canadian geese.
tail to beak in a line.
And how big is that?
This one.
So that was January 12th.
One asteroid.
Yeah. How big is that? What, do you want that in capybaras?
No,
or
I want that in
or-
bananas.
Right.
Okay.
Jesus
We
Christ.
need a conversion computer somewhere.
How
well,
was...
Vicarious, we need a conversion computer that converts real measurements into random stuff.
Right. So what was
There
the
we
length again? What was the length in meters?
Well, it was what did I
71.
say? 71.
Right. Hold on.
There were 64 Canadian geese, all tail to beak in a line. So yes.
71. I'm working it out in bananas. 0. Divide by 20 centimetre banana.
So is this
355 bananas long.
Oh, wow, that's big.
That is pretty
That's
big.
asteroid 2007 EG.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that.
Sorry
I
to
was-
upset people, but there is already a banana converter online.
No way. We need that.
Bananaforscale.info.
Did you say 2007 EG?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting because NASA don't know about that one.
Okay.
I'm looking at NASA near Earth objects,
I'm
trying to
assuming
figure
that-
out
that
which one it was, and it just
I'm
isn't
assuming
there.
then that whoever found it in 2007 and went,
Yes.
oh, look.
Yeah. There's a 2008 OS7 on this tomorrow.
Oh, is that coming tomorrow? How big is that?
That's
And-
400
Well,
between
the
210
website that I
to
found says it's roughly the
480.
size of an aeroplane, which is about the same as 64 geese,
See, the
or
one
130 feet.
the one coming tomorrow is basically the size of Wembley.
What?
It's
Yes.
massive. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Is
going to
that Wembley
be
Wems Wobbly One?
well. It's,
Yeah.
it's basically the size.
Is that Wembley Stadium?
Yes.
Or Wembley?
Yes.
Well, anyway,
Okay,
it
so it's
passed
two-
Earth at 8.58 kilometers a second.
That's
How many
pretty
geese per second is that? I don't know. And how many
Well,
bananas per
fast.
second?
It's a pretty nippy speed for something the size of 64 Canadian geese.
Well, the Umbongo.
No, that
Um,
was. You didn't dream that one.
Yeah, 18 kilometers a second is so it's 2.5 times as fast as the geese. 210 to 480 meters in diameter. I assume it's because it's not spherical. It's oh my god!
Anyway, apparently
That's
it would
huge.
have an impact. It would an impact effect about the same as 4 megatons of TNT if it landed somewhere.
2,400 bananas.
Ah.
Well, there you go.
Assuming a 20 centimetre banana.
Do you know anybody who says they leave this show not better informed about science and stuff?
Yeah, we're good at
Wasn't
science.
Is
listening.
talking out of their ear.
Here you go, Amelia. This is the page
Banana
everyone
converter.
needs to look at. So that's.
You want me
the
to put that
NASA
up now?
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it might be fun because you'll see the size of this bloody thing that's flying by us tomorrow. It's not. I'm just looking to see how
It's about the size of a python.
close it's coming.
But
up
the
to.
the animal or the
Ooh,
ship.
hello.
No, that's a titanoboa. No, it's no. Oh, I'm confused now.
Is it African or European?
Yes.
Has it got coconuts? Oh, there's data. We like data.
Yeah, there you go.
Data.
Numbers.
If you scroll down to the table and it's see the one with a 2 at the end, rarity 2.
Hold on.
Rarity.
There you go, right in the middle
Rarity.
there.
Middle of the table.
That's right in the middle of the table. That's the one that's flying by.
210 to 400 meters. Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, that is a big old lumpy thing.
And it's
Yeah.
only
View?
0.02 AU.
It's not letting me view it, so.
Oh, we can see it.
Yeah, it's too far away.
This one's very small, and that one's made of Canada
Yes.
geese. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Well, the next article in that case
That's
is one of those pretty ones, with pictures. But unfortunately, it's full of adverts. The page, so we might get adverts for the best ever Sky broadband and gambling or something, or Adobe.
They're not paying us for it, that's all I'm saying.
Anyway,
Or we
there
might get
has
adverts
been
for chicks as
another
puppies.
X-ray image of the universe
Ooh,
with
look at
1
that.
million high-energy objects, which are apparently mind-blowing numbers. And this is the Erosita Sky Survey, which is an X-ray view over half the sky over Earth. Encompasses 1 million high-energy cosmic sources, including over 700,000 supermassive black holes.
I thought you said erotica.
Name for Leonard Rossiter, who played Rigsby in Rising Damp.
So we mentioned earlier on.
Yep.
Anyway,
So which half
in
of the
just
sky is
6
it?
months of operations after launching, it discovered more high-energy X-ray sources than has been found in 6 decades of examining the sky. But it uses clusters of galaxies to observe how dark energy accelerates the expansion of the universe, etc., etc. Yes, quasi-periodic erupting black holes, superclusters, exciting stuff.
That's pretty dense looking, though, isn't it? I mean, really, that is pretty dense looking.
Mm-hmm.
It probably isn't when you look at distances between them, but it looks. Look at that big yellow explosion there. What's that?
It's a big yellow thing.
This is what my phone needs. You know, all the technology in the world. I need a WhatsApp button on my phone with the camera. You just point at something and go, WhatsApp.
Go, what the
fuck
is that?
WhatsApp.com, you know?
Well, it's in the plane of the galaxy from the look of that. Assuming that the dark splotch is the Milky Way.
Yeah.
But it's right on the edge.
Oh, okay.
And it's only half the sky because it's only looking that way. And there's a planet in the way.
It's behind you.
Yeah.
That's got the look of something like a supernova, isn't it? It's pretty massive.
I don't know, what is that? You're right. If that's the edge of the Milky Way straight... Oh, it's zooming in. No.
It's finishing.
I feel queasy now.
Because, that was right on the edge of what looks like probably the Milky Way dust cloud.
Just to clarify, it's the galaxy and not the universe.
No, it's the sky above us.
Yeah, because I'm sure at some point somebody said universe.
Well,
it's
some
the
of them
galaxy.
Some of them will be further away than our galaxy because they're just looking out and seeing things at arbitrary distance.
Oh, we got floor mopping going now.
Yeah, that looks like the corridor outside there.
I put it back to the Space News
Look
cartoons.
at that advert spaceship! It's got a proboscis.
Maybe that's what we're getting as one of the ships.
Yeah.
The SSR.
The aardvark. Oh, we need to have them.
Anyway, so that is, I think, it for this week's Space News. Have
Space
we got
News.
Out theme tune?
When you don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
No, that does say that. That link says half the universe.
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe.
When you look out, what you see all the way to the end.
Yeah, okay. I see a wee note here saying Dusty Bot. Is there a Dusty Bot thing?
Yeah, so the Hutton Dusty Bot had a moment earlier.
Oh, it did, yes.
Oh, it
yes. So, as we're doing for the show recently, you know, we have a chat with Dusty Bot on a Thursday because, you know, Dusty might have an interesting take on, you know, give me your trash. So I started out with, good afternoon, Hutton Dusty Bot.
You know, we should have scripted this.
Well, I can put it in the script if you want.
We should have scripted this.
Yeah, we should have done the audio of some robot voice. And then Dusty Bot said back to me, good afternoon, how can I assist you today? So I said, what day is it? And it said, today is Wednesday. How can I assist you further? To which I said, are you sure it isn't Thursday? Oh, I had to go and look at my diary, just double check I hadn't got the day wrong. It said, my apologies, I made an error. Indeed, today is Thursday. How can I assist you further this fine Thursday? I said, what happens at Hutton on a Thursday evening? Hutton Dusty Bot managed to come back with, on the last Thursday of the month at Hutton, there's a special segment called Green Room, followed by a game of settlements and scavengers featuring Hutton's radio crew in a rollicking space adventure. This is part of their regular programming showcasing the crew's creativity and sense of fun. So I said, is the last Thursday of the month, is it currently the last Thursday of the month, or was that last week? And Hutton Dustybot said, to accurately determine if today is the last Thursday of the month, I would need to know the current date. Could you please provide the current date?
Oh, God.
I said,
Did you see Hot and Dusty, but what is the current date?
I said it's Thursday, the 1st of not January anymore. It said, since today is Thursday, the 1st of not January anymore, it means that it's not the last Thursday of the month. Well done, Dusty. The Green Room segment and the game of Settlements and Scavengers at Hutton Orbital typically occur on the last Thursday. Therefore, these events would have taken place last week, assuming the month ended in January, which confused me. Right, all right. Okay,
Well, it felt like it was never ending, but that's a separate issue.
So what happens on the other Thursday evenings at Hutton when there isn't a Green Room week? It said on typical Thursday evenings when it's not a Green Room week, the setting tends to be more relaxed and low-key. Traffic numbers generally subside, you rotter. The Hot Pit team takes a well-deserved rest, and activities like Operation IDA or IDA continue, refocusing on repairing broken stations. No, you're out of date now, Dusty. Additionally, Hutton's pilots might be engaged in various activities across the Milky Way, such as assisting friends or undertaking diplomatic missions. So I said, Thursday evenings are broadcast evenings when we put the show on. And Dusty says, oh, I understand now. On Thursday evenings, Hutton's a buzz with the excitement of broadcast evenings. So low-key then, yes? When the show, a mix of news, entertainment, and various segments is aired, the broadcasts are a key part of the Hutton Orbital experience, providing both information and entertainment.
You managed to overlook Dusty Bot.
Yes. At which point it melted.
Yeah.
Yes. So Dusty was broken this week.
Has it started swearing at you again?
No, but it did put the original picture of Nurse Wyeth in an incredibly short skirt.
Oh dear.
Have you been soaking its training data set in Centauri Megagin?
Shall I ask it? Been soaking your transistors in Centauri Mega Gin. Here we go.
You know it's all valves out here.
I've just asked the question. Hang on a second. Dusty Bot is doing the tickety noise. It says try again, please.
Ask again later.
Yes. So while we wait for it seems my circuits might have been infused. Hang on. Oh dear. It seems my circuits might have been infused with a bit of Hutton humour, but I assure you, no Centauri Megagin has been involved in the process. My resources are purely digital and gin-free.
Well, that's probably what's wrong with it then.
Thanks, Dusty.
So,
right, okay.
Yes.
Do we have a word of the week?
We do have the word of the week, and it's a belter.
Ooh.
Word of the week this week is scurryfunge.
And what does that mean?
It means to rush around cleaning when company is on their way over. A hasty way of tidying the house between the time you see a neighbour and the time she knocks at the door.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I certainly can use it in a sentence. If it weren't for the occasional scurryfunge, the start of Hutton Orbital Radio show would be an oasis of calm and very low key.
And for those interested, you can now see the spelling and the meaning on the headline on your screen.
Scurryfunge.
Scurryfunge.
That's a good word. I like that word.
It's a good word to say with a Welsh accent. It's really... I'll post that in there.
Scurryfunge.
A scurryfunge, man.
It sounds like you need a good wash afterwards.
I've been to the doctor's, man. He told me I've got scurryfunge. Gave me a cream.
Definitely need cream for that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to... What do you call an anteater on the street? Not Jeff.
Oh, Beth?
Roadkill.
Oh, not Beth either. No, it's her day off. So, what do you call an anteater on the street? A boulevard bark. Ba-dum! Tish.
And we have a picture of that.
No, you don't call them Timmy either.
A picture?
Yeah. It's a boulevard bark.
There's a boulevard.
That's a boulevard bark. He looks
yes.
like a Victorian villain of some kind, doesn't he?
Yes. Chicks in
Look
an
at the
aardvark
eyes.
suit.
Look at the eyes.
I resemble
No.
that remark.
Chick's when he's taken off his human suit.
Yeah, Chick's in an aardvark's suit.
Yeah, he hasn't got blood running down his face.
So, moving on. Flossy, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Lovely. Let's kick it off.
That reminds me of a street in London.
It
Which
does
street?
look London. Those buildings look Londony.
Which street?
I'm trying to remember.
Aardvark Street.
Anyway,
It can't be in London.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. There were no CGs last week, so nothing to report on. This week we have one new CG. Harvest Thargoid materials for Anti-Titan project. Aegis is urgently requesting deliveries of Thargoid Spire site materials to Professor Ishmael Palin in the Arc system. The alien minerals are needed for vital research based on a new theory by the engineer Ramtar. His research has suggested a method of defeating the Thargoid Titans, although details of the proposal remain classified by Aegis. Professor Palin, the leading expert in Thargoid biotechnology, explained the initiative. I am confident that Ramtar's theory holds water, and we are working together on its practical applications. There are no guarantees as yet, but we could be on the cusp of developing a weapon with which to engage the Titans. However, such a weapon must be able to function within the Maelstrom's electromagnetic fields, which disrupt all Guardian-based technology. I am developing a resistant armour using the organic compounds produced by Thargoid Spire sites. Aegis has cautioned pilots that operating within the Spire sites is highly dangerous, and that they are likely to encounter Thargoid vessels as well as defensive drones. Anti-Xeno strategist Aidan Tanner commented, I won't pretend to understand all the science behind Ramtar and Palin's work, but what little I've seen made me feel something very rare these days: hope. There's never been a more crucial time for everyone to rally together and perhaps help us achieve the impossible. Deliveries of coral sap, impure spire minerals and semi-refined spire minerals can be made at Austin Town Station in the Arc system. As an additional incentive, paint jobs will be offered to qualifying participants. These rewards are cumulative. Top 75% of contributors: Alliance Challenger Cyclops paint job. Top 50% of contributors: Alliance Crusader Cyclops paint job. And the top 25% of contributors: Federal Corvette Cyclops paint job. The campaign begins today, the 1st of February, and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before delivering coral sap, impure spire minerals and semi-refined spire minerals to Austin Town Station in the Arc system. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you, Flossy. Well, we better hope that Thark the Mighty wasn't listening. Otherwise, we're all doomed. And now, here's that alternative take on the Galnet news from Beetlejuice and Witherspoon, who definitely won't give the game away to any multi-limbed, thorax-sporting invaders hell-bent on destroying humanity.
Galnet News Digest, 1st of February 3310. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, with new ships announced, we look back on the history of flyable ships and take a look forward to what's coming this year.
It's been a long wait for new ships to fly, but now, at last, it seems that the drought may finally be over, with manufacturers promising 4 new ship variants this year. 21 of the ships that are still available now have been on the market for more than 10 years. This includes a veteran from the 28th century, the Falcon de Lacy Python, a ship that has delivered reliable service for more than 600 years, and the Python's stablemate, the Anaconda, the design for which is only a little over 450 years old. The rest of the original 21 ships, in order of introduction, are the Adder, the Sidewinder, the Cobra Mark III, the Fer-de-Lance, the Imperial Courier, the Eagle Mark II and the Imperial Eagle, the Type 6 Transporter, Type 7 Transporter, the Asp Explorer, Diamondback Explorer, Diamondback Scout, Federal Assault Ship, Federal Dropship, Hauler, Imperial Clipper, Orca, Type 9 Heavy and Viper Mark III. Just a year later, 8 more ships were added to the showrooms. This included everyone's favourite, the Asp Scout, and the exclusive, only available for a limited time, Cobra Mark IV, which is one of the best ships for on-foot missions. 2 new ships were introduced to rival the Anaconda, the Federal Corvette and the Imperial Cutter. The smallest ship to support a ship-launched fighter, the Lakon Keelback, was also released, along with the Federal gunship, the Viper Mark IV and the Vulture, an affordable ship with great firepower. Only one ship was released in 3302, the mighty Beluga liner, but Saud-Kruger followed up the next year with a much smaller Dolphin. This was the year space tourism really took off. Also in 3303, Lakon released their anti-Thargoid gun platform, the Lakon Alliance Type 10 Defender. The last of the glory years for those who love shiny new ships was 3304. This was the year the Alliance got serious about anti-Thargoid platforms, releasing 3 similar medium combat ships, the Challenger, the Chieftain and the Crusader. And Falcon de Lacy released what was in effect a massively updated and redesigned version of the 600-year-old Python, but with a completely new fuselage and slightly better than the Python in almost every way. This was the Crate Mark II, widely believed to be the best all-round ship currently available. Finally, towards the end of 3304, 2 more ships were released. These were the Crate Phantom, a slimmed-down version of the Crate Mark II that proved itself a match for the Asp Explorer in jump range and suitability for long-range exploration and missions. And Zorgon Peterson supplemented its stable of 2 joke ships and 1 excellent combat specialist with the Mamba. Based on the design of a prototype racing ship, the Mamba was supposed to be faster and more capable version of the Fer-de-Lance. After its top speed was cut back for safety reasons, the general consensus seemed to be that the Mamba offered no real advantages over the Fer-de-Lance, and it has not been widely adopted. After the release of the Crate Phantom and the Mamba, there has been 5 years of nothing. Not one ship manufacturer has released a new ship. Commanders have got used to their choices of ship from the existing range. Like old slippers, they are comfortable and familiar, but they are no longer thrilling. And so, it is hugely exciting and welcome that after 5 years of no new ships at all, the manufacturers have announced that they are planning this year to release no fewer than 4 significant variants of their existing ships that will not only look different, but have improved capabilities over their base models. The first of these is another new version of the Python, but this time it retains the characteristic Python shape, Slightly fatter and curvier, the new version of the Python will be the first of at least 4 ships from a variety of manufacturers this year. The other ships will be announced at intervals throughout the year. In other news, Aegis claims that the work currently in progress to use Guardian-based technology to defeat the Thargoid Titans is in no way analogous to Salvation's use of the same technology to build the Proteus wave, and that the Thargoid invasion may finally be about to be defeated. Their tentative timescale for the final assault is mid to late April. There is also talk that the current patronage-based political system for the layer of government between the superpowers and the local factions, the so-called power play system, is to be overhauled, with an expected delivery sometime in the middle of 3310. The new federal president Felicia Winters may need to watch out for the meddling of Jerome Archer. The Emperor may need to be specially vigilant of Senator Zemina Torval and her plot to take over the Chancellorship, and Prime Minister Mahan may at last need to confront his arch-enemy in the Alliance Assembly, Councillor Nakato Kane.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.
So, thank you to Commanders Beetlejuice and Wotherspoon for another excellent and insightful article. Ooh, we've had a letter from a listener. He, she or they say, "Squishy meatbags, I now have your plans. Mwah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Signed, LCU No Fool Like One." Anyway, time for a Galnet Rares Digest, and Amelia has a serious case of deja vu.
You are about to listen to Amelia Hawk. She tries all the galaxy's most dangerous rare items, so you don't have to.
There's a rare in the list that I was postponing, but then I didn't. So I revisited it again by actually using it, as I can't remember what happened, but kept it. It's in a sealed bag marked evidence, but that's probably all I had to hand. There's something splattered on the outside. Look, I'll wipe it off before I start. Oh, bother. Oh, there goes the label. Well, I mean, how bad can it be? Okay, let's re-experience this one and find out. It's not, on the face of it, more dangerous than the others or harder to find. It's not going to try and eat me or disembowel me. It's not, as far as I can tell, poisonous or illegal. But I did want to be in the right frame of mind for this one. And alone. You'll see why in a bit. It costs about the same as a gimbaled multi-cannon, whilst the canister that holds what I'm about to review is your galactic standard shape, size and weight. Most of that is experimental. What's in the canister? It's a small tube, rather a little smaller than a toothpaste tube. In fact, the tube is about the size of a small tube of superglue. The rest is packaging. Open the box and there are lights, there's music, there are slow opening doors and drawers, and as you press various coloured buttons, there are scents and mists. The whole experience is a big piece of marketing. What you've bought is valuable, it's special, and clearly the people selling it want you to get that wow factor. There's a handwritten note from the founder of the company that makes it. It has gold edges and an embossed stamp of authenticity. Inside the large cargo canister, once all the theatre is finished, there's a simple wooden box on a cushion. The box is engraved with a few words. Hold your breath. Make a wish. Count to 3. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. I'm in a suite that comes as part of my order. I upgraded from a simple shipment to the entire package. Just one night. There's a jacuzzi, a minibar, a huge bed, and just for tonight, it's just me and my little tube. I'm in the Montrona system, excuse me, at Pins and Dock, and I'm very comfortable. Oh, and yes, this is Montrona Experience Jelly, custom made to my requirements. What's in the tube has been carefully chemically crafted to my exact specification. Before I made my choice, I read the paperwork carefully. The jelly can be rubbed into your skin, and after a few moments, apparently temporarily hijacks your neural pathways. All of your senses are taken over for around an hour, and you can experience quite literally anything you want. It's the ultimate in virtual reality. Everything that you see, you hear, you feel for the time you're under the influence, your brain is convinced that you're actually there. Ever wanted to experience first footfall on Mars? Or relive an experience from your own youth? You can get them to program it in. Skydiving, exploring deep oceans, being a bystander at the Big Bang. Of course, for those lonely, sad souls, experience activities with people that in real life you'd never ever have a chance with. Seedier purchasers with extra cash can experience exactly what it would be like to engage in carnal activity with the object of their affection. Morally dubious, ethically unsound, but there is quite literally no limit to what they will program in for you. However, as someone whose moral compass points firmly in the right direction, mostly. Okay, I can't say I wasn't tempted when filling out the form, but to be on the safe side, I sent my request in and chose something that wasn't seedy. A luxury imperial spa retreat. The full pamper package, the ultimate in self-indulgent relaxation. The jacuzzi, the deep tissue massage, the music, sights and sounds of the galaxy's most expensive me time. And all that in a little tube no bigger than my pinky finger. I'm going to leave the audio recording running so I can talk you through what it's like. So, I've bathed, I'm relaxed in my suite, I've got a loose synth silk kimono on, and it's time. I squeeze the contents of the tube out into my palm, and as per the instructions, which were read out to me by a disembodied someone who sounds a bit stern. I mean, yes, that bit is customizable too, but I chose the default based on my experience. I mean, this must be what a spa major domo sounds like. I'm rubbing it liberally over myself. It's not greasy. It reminds me of, the kind of jelly you get as pain relief for a bad back. It's clear, colourless, and it doesn't have a sticky residue. It's just soaking into my skin. In a moment, you'd never know that you'd applied it, and the voice from the giant box tells me to lie back and close my eyes. I hope you can still hear this. Blackness and the feeling of the bed below me are fading, and I can hear noises, dim images. Okay, everything's green. I wasn't expecting green, and I'm lying on something. It's not what I expected. It's hard and cold. There's a bright light above me somewhere, and I can't move my head or my arms. What? I'm strapped to something, and there's a noise, a chattering kind of noise, and the distant thrum of machinery. If this is what an imperial spa weekend is like, well, I don't know what the fuss is about. I can distantly see a shape approaching me. It's weird. I can't move, but It all seems so real. It's holding something. Oh, no. No, this isn't right. I just want it to stop. This can't be what I'll be experiencing for the next hour. Recording off. Oh, it's okay. I'm okay. Well, oh crap. Actually, I'm not okay. The effects have faded and I've gone back over to the box. That wasn't what I ordered. I'm just checking the label. There must be a customer service number. Hang on, I'm going to give them a call. Hello? Yes? I want to speak to someone now. What the heck do you call that? I'm in suite 237B. Get someone here now. No, this isn't Mr. Smith. My name's Hawke, Amelia Hawke. Scan this serial number on my case. Hang on. What do you mean this isn't my case? Who's Mr. Smith? Don't give me that crap about data protection. Who is Mr. Smith? He's in 237D. No, don't worry. I'll be dealing with this myself. Right, sorry listener, you're just gonna have to put up with this for a second. Someone needs to give Mr. Smith a proper slap. Smith! Oi, Smith! Open up, you sick puppy. Okay, his door's opening. Hang on, I'm just going to mute the mic. You do not want to hear what I'm about to do to this guy. Back in a minute. Right. What's that, officer? No, I just found him like that. Why is he clutching his groin saying, no, make it stop? I have no idea. Did I take anything from his room? No, absolutely not. This is my tube of experience jelly. Look, you can scan it. See that? It says Amelia Hawke. That's me. Right. I'm off to my room to try out my Imperial Spy experience. I need it after that. This is a furious Amelia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest, and I've just experienced someone else's Thargoid probe fantasy. So you don't have to. And I've just realised that was last week's images.
Well,
seamless.
There's a special text. Apology, officer.
I'm ready to go. Ready when you are.
Go on, please.
Ladies, gentlemen, and commanders of all varieties tuning into the Hutton Orbital broadcast, we find ourselves in a wee bit of a pickle. Or should we say, wrapped up in a haggis casing of confusion. In a galaxy brimming with anomalies, it appears our image feed has taken a quantum leap into the past. Instead of basking in the glow of Montrona Experience Jelly adventures, you've been treated to last week's Highland escapades featuring Hamish and Amelia on their haggis hunt. We must extend our most sincere apologies for this unexpected journey back in time. It seems our image distributor has been overly indulgent in a bottle of Centauri Mega Gin, mistaking the upload button for a rewind through the annals, not annals, I said annals, of human history button. Fear not, dear listeners, for every cloud has a silver lining. In our case, every haggis has its neeps and tatties. Consider this a bonus round, a nostalgic trip down memory lane before we dive back into the wonders of the galaxy. Rest assured, our tech team is currently engaging in a frantic scurry furnish to set the timeline straight. In the meantime, we invite you to enjoy the unexpected detour. After all, in the vastness of space, who doesn't appreciate a good haggis tale or two? We promise to return you to your regularly scheduled galactic oddities as soon as our Hutton dusty bot sobers up. Until then, let's raise a glass or a mug to the unpredictability that keeps Hutton Orbital broadcasts as spicy as Alvin's favourite mega gin. Remember, in space, no one can hear you seem.
That
Yes.
was, I mean, that was a seam to end all seams. That one.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten you'd gone to a local copy last week.
Yeah, we were doing so well too.
Oh. But here's the thing, Amelia. The Hutton Dusty Bot actually wrote that apology for the apology officer on the fly.
What? That was
That was
good.
entirely word for word written by the Hutton Dusty Bot.
Nice.
I
In all,
said-
in all
basically-
fairness, I didn't notice. I was trying to fight Mooncake away from the stream deck during that
I
whole
saw it
thing.
straight away and I thought, I'll just leave her.
Mooncake
Wait,
was
here's a
trying to
question.
tell you clearly.
There's no point. Once you've started reading, there's no point interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, I did ping a message just in case it was a different button, but yeah, the Hutton Dusty Bot did a very good job of apologising for itself. Do you? I mean, just out of curiosity, and while we banter for the end of the show bit, do you happen to have? Because Dusty is quite proud of the images that Dusty put together.
Yeah.
Might you have the real ones?
Let me see if I can just pull them up quick.
I mean, that one there about somebody's grim Thargoid probing adventure. I mean, I was absorbed in the audio on that one. It was just, what a horrific experience.
What a horrific. Why
Nearly as bad as Lave Radio not being on this week.
Nearly as bad as them being on last week.
Pardon what? As bad as us
Did I
being
say
on
that
the
out loud?
Oh, ouch. Yeah, well, you weren't here, Rotter. But you're off to Parts Foreign again imminently, aren't you?
Yeah, Sunday.
And are you back for next week's show, or are you absent
no.
without leave?
I will definitely be away for next week's show. I might be back for the week after.
Oh,
Maybe.
look
Oh,
at
here
that.
we go. Here we go.
Oh.
Amelia experiencing a Thargoid probing horror in Matrono Experience there. We've got Amelia having a stern word with Mr. Smith. And is that Mooncake?
That's Mooncake.
That's
What happened
Mooncake's.
to Mooncakes' tail?
I don't know.
That's how angry Mooncake is.
Okay,
Oh.
Mooncake has been licking the Matrono Experience. Charlie. The horrified.
Oh, dear.
What's with the little kitten? This is Amelia on the phone
On
to
the
the
phone.
office there
Yeah,
with a
look at
very
you.
angry Mooncake. A very angry Mooncake. And this was you at the start of that article, just getting
Yes.
ready. Yes. Yes. How lovely. It's-
It looks very comfortable.
Your
there
hair's
are
changed colour,
Thargoids
but
in
you're
your hot
back on the
tub.
phone.
Amelia,
And
there
you
are
don't want to have
Thargoids in your hot
Thargoids in
tub.
your hot tub.
and there's the big box that came in. There we go. And there's a robot. There's Dusty. Dusty's painted himself into your hot tub. He's filthy. just naughty, Mr. Dusty.
I like your little work desk in the corner there. That's very nice.
Yes.
I just
So
love
that's
that
what you
Mooncake.
would have been seeing if the Hutton Dusty Bot hadn't had a complete meltdown.
Smith's going to get a do in there, you can tell.
Yes. I mean, Mooncake should not lick the Matrono Experience.
No, don't lick
Mooncake licks everything.
Mooncake's wearing a kimono as well.
Is that why Mooncake's so angry? I love
the-
that picture of angry Mooncake.
Yeah, the second smaller tube on the desk is actually Mooncake's tube.
Did you put that whole Galnet Rares into Dusty Bot and ask it to make you pictures?
I did, yes.
Wow.
I said I want a sequence of pictures based on the progression of the story, please, Mr. Hutton Dusty Bot. And without any other prompting, this was the sequence it came up with.
That's pretty good.
So how Hutton Dusty Bot worked is we've trained Hutton Dusty Bot on about 9 years of scripts.
Yeah.
I fed 9 years of scripts into Dusty Bot. I explained who the presenters were, because obviously it's varied over the years. And then I left it to be. And then I let it listen into the show as we go.
This is good.
And this is the kind of thing it comes up with.
They're pretty good images. The occasional disembodied tail, but, you know.
Yeah, the Thargoids. I mean, there was a wonderful one earlier of the Thargoid reading Galnet news, and normally it manages to get text and writing wrong. Hutton Dusty Bot, but it managed to get a Thargoid reading Galnet news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why Skynet started.
I worship our overlords. And
Yes.
actually, it does a fairly good job about avoiding copyright infringements too badly.
Yeah. I did notice as well that both of them were in suites 237. It wasn't the
Hang on, I
Overlook
didn't
Hotel
see
by
it.
any chance, was it?
237B and D.
Yeah,
already.
but 237. It wasn't the Overlook Hotel. From
Go on, fill me in.
The Shining, room 237 is quite important.
Oh yes, well that may have been back in 2021 when I maybe wrote the article, or yes. Sorry, when Amelia experienced this first time. Anyway, so thank you very much, Amelia, for experiencing that again. It is a weird, gel-based hallucination that you've been on, and our listener is now experiencing it by virtue of all the pictures. For more hallucinations and drops, maybe.
You've got I tell you what, though, you've got a lovely range of kimonos. And
I know,
faces.
right?
They're all quite stylish.
Yes, that one's a filter.
Although the one with angry,
with...
the one with angry mooncake, that hairstyle, I'm seriously considering getting that hairstyle because my hair's long enough now. The one with angry mooncake.
Is that the close-up one when you're in the phone, or the far-away one when you're in
this
the
one
phone?
With the angry mooncake,
this one.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
This one here with angry mooncake.
That's nice. Yes. And look at the 2 jars of experience jelly as well.
Yeah, one for Amelia, one for mooncake.
So if anybody listening wondered what these rares are about, every now and again, and we've done an awful lot of them over the years, but every now and again we resurrect one for Amelia until they insert more rares. Well, there's a couple we haven't done, but we've not been feeling the vibe just yet on those ones. But there are many. I mean, the Chibones. What was it? Were the Chibones things that we did?
We've done so many.
Wasn't it? Yeah. But we have a wealth of all the rares in the galaxy to get through. Chibone's blood crystals. Those are the sharp ones that you went down on a rope into a big cavern, didn't you?
That does ring a bell. Yeah.
Yes, these fragile structures are manually extracted at great personal risk.
Yes. Oh, I remember those. Yes.
Yeah, many are lost on their first attempt, or the pathogenic.
What was that one where we were watching people run around naked, and they had to try not to get eaten by plants?
That was Lacon.
Oh, there are many plants. That was another Matrona Experience jelly kind of thing. I was trying to think of what the plants one was.
I think this next one, I think your phone cable disappears halfway. It disappears behind Mooncake's head. I think Mooncake might be a novel, not this one. The next one, I think Mooncake might be a novelty telephone.
I'm just trying to find what the plants were. I mean,
no, it's not this one.
Rapperbow, snakeskin. No, it wasn't those ones. Wasn't the tea?
No, the Rapperbow snakeskins was Benny Hill. Yeah, look, your cable disappears at Mooncake's head. Mooncake's a novelty phone. No wonder she's angry.
It actually disappears over to the bedside table way off in the distance. It's just a really long cable.
Small, far away.
I can't find the. It wasn't those ones. It wasn't those ones.
Snakes was the one.
The giant Verics were quite interesting. The Aethgrease tea buds.
It's Aethgrease tea buds. That's the one.
Yeah, Aethgrease tea buds, plucked from the dangerous Aethgrease carnivorous Camellia sinensis plants.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
Bastards.
That's the one.
Yep. Only those with sharp reflexes make it through the first season without losing fingers or entire hands to the deadly fast plants. That one, yes, there we go.
We've done that one a couple of times.
Yes, we have. Yeah,
it's a good one.
I'm trying to work out which ones you haven't reviewed yet. Have you done the pearls yet?
Sorry, the what?
The Helvetige pearls. I think you may have done Helvetige pearls.
I can't remember. It doesn't ring a bell.
Natural pearls, or the Jotun Muka.
That doesn't ring a bell. There has been so many.
Yeah.
It's
good to have a think which ones would come up with the best
Jotun Muka
images.
is a multicolored fur sludge brown when it dies. Oh, it's the one that's fur. Yes, you've done that one because its fur changes colour when it dies. And you have to keep the creature from a self-induced heart attack. That one, yep. Koro Kung pellets, I think you did.
Yes. Did we do the Hutton mug? Little Grey is
Oh,
asking.
Not yet.
We were saying
The Medbee Star Lube. No, I think we did that one. Yes.
I think we've run out of everything else, haven't we? There's
The
only
Tory
Feshies left.
Chimes. Yeah, we did the Tory Chimes. Yes. Void Got Extract Coffee. The Yasso Condi Leaf. Oh, that's tobacco.
Mm.
We've done the lace one. That was scandalous. That one, absolutely scandalous.
Crystalline spheres. I like crystalline spheres.
Yeah, and the ear grubs. Obviously, done those ones, and the exo artifacts. Those are the ones that look like giant.
Yeah,
yes,
that's the one.
A giant euphemism.
Sorry, I'm fighting Mooncake away from my stream
From
deck.
your maternal experience, Jelly. Mooncake, get away from the maternal experience. Jelly.
Are you trying to blame the cat for putting up last week's images? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, that was completely my fault.
Oh no,
I blamed it on the cat. I was giving you an out, but you.
No, that was
didn't
definitely
take
my fault.
Karsuki locusts, yum. Right, yes, go and feed Mooncake some Karsuki locusts. So that's it for our show for this week. Are we going to raid anybody this week? Is anyone live? We did Stargoid last time, possibly. So who's live? So for those listening and watching, there are other people that talk about Elite in the Galaxy. What we do at the end of the show is we play some music, the Hutton theme tune, and do some credits, which are worth reading. Some cool recipes in there, which I've not updated this week, so it's the same one as last week. So the question is...
Stargo's got the fewest of viewers of the ones I can see, so Stargo would be...
Stargoid would be a good one. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to go and raid the Stargoid after this one. So please
emulated
do hang around.
No. Stargoid.
At the end of the show. Music first and some credits and then some words, and then we're going to raid the Stargoid. Amelia, because Mooncake's there, are we being quiet or noisy this evening?
I would say medium.
Medium, okay.
Just a good
So
old
this is
fashioned for the mug.
This is a medium warning.
Okay. I was just about to press the button.
Just one awooga.
All right,
One
just
awooga.
just
It's
one
a
awooga.
warning.
One
Yep.
awooga only.
Yes, you don't have to stay away from your microphone. Or in your headphones.
For the mug,
Take it
everyone.
away.
For the
For the
mug.
mug.
For the mug.
For that mug.
Journey too long, no cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lies the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the frame, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Truckers song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Truckers song. So give me a large pipe that I can land on, and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. 0.22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?
Seamless.